Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a topic in SPM chemistry that can feel a little bit tricky, but trust me, it's absolutely crucial for your success. We're talking about chemical bonds.
Look, if you've ever felt your brain scramble a little bit when you see those electron diagrams, or you're just not sure about the whole sharing versus transferring thing, trust me, you are not alone. This is probably one of the biggest hurdles for chemistry students.
You know, the absolute best way to really lock this stuff in is practice, practice, practice. So before we dive deep, I have to point you towards this incredible resource. Go ahead and scan this QR code or just visit MCQ SPM.com. It's packed with past year questions. You can even find their app on the Google Play Store. It is, hands down, the best way to apply what you're about to learn and build that real exam confidence.
All right, you ready? Let's dive in. First up, let's talk strategy, because acing your exam isn't just about what you know, it's also about avoiding those common traps. So let's look at the mistakes students make all the time with chemical bonds.
Okay, so these are the big ones, the ones that can seriously cost you some easy marks on your exam. Number one is just mixing up ionic and covalent bonds. Another huge one is completely forgetting that simple rule. Covalent bonds form between two nonmetals. And finally, just getting tripped up by those electron diagrams. Don't worry, by the end of this, you'll be able to spot and avoid all of them.
So let's get right into the thick of it. What is a covalent bond, really? I mean, we hear the word sharing all the time, but what's actually going on with the atoms? Let's find out.
Take a look at this. This right here is a perfect example. We've got an ammonia molecule. See that nitrogen atom in the middle, connected to 3 hydrogen atoms? Well, the invisible glue holding them all together, those are covalent bonds in action.
So, okay, here's the textbook definition, right? A bond formed when nonmetal atoms share electrons to get stable. But let's make it simpler. Think of it like this. An ionic bond is like one friend giving their textbook to another. It's a full transfer. But a covalent bond? That's like two friends who both need the textbook, so they put them together and share them to study. They both benefit, and the books literally hold them together.
But here's the thing. This sharing isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. Nope. It actually comes in 3 main flavors. First, you have your single bond, where they share just one pair of electrons, like in chlorine. Then you've got a double bond. You guessed it, sharing 2 pairs, like the oxygen we breathe. And then there's the super strong triple bond, sharing 3 whole pairs, like in nitrogen gas.
Okay, so now that we've got a handle on covalent bonds, it's time to put them head-to-head with their famous rival. It's time for the big showdown, ionic versus covalent. Guys, getting the difference here is absolutely essential for your exams, so let's really focus. This table breaks it all down beautifully. Let's walk through it. First, how they work. Ionic bonds are a total transfer. One atom gives, one atom takes. Covalent bonds, all about sharing. Next, who's involved? Ionic is a metal plus a nonmetal. Think table salt. Covalent is a nonmetal plus another nonmetal. Think water. And finally, what do they make? Ionic bonds create charged particles called ions, while covalent bonds create neutral things called molecules.
Seriously, if you walk away with just one thing from this whole comparison, let it be this. This is the absolute core of it. Ionic is about giving and taking. Covalent is about sharing. It's a partnership. Simple as that.
Okay, theory's done. You've got the knowledge. Now let's put it to work. This is the fun part. We're going to walk through a real exam-style question, step by step, so you can see exactly how a top student would break it down. Check this out. This is a classic question you might see on your exam. They give you the electron setup for atom Q and atom T, and they just want to know if they can form a covalent compound. At first glance, it might look a little intense, but I promise you it's just a little puzzle. So how do we tackle this? Let's break it down. Step 1. Figure out what kind of atoms we're dealing with. Look at their outer electrons. Q has 4, T has 7. So what does that tell us? They're both nonmetals. Step 2. Apply our golden rule. What happens when 2 nonmetals meet? They form a covalent bond. The logic is simple. Neither one wants to give up its electrons, so they have to share to get stable. So, the conclusion is pretty obvious, right?
And boom, there it is, just like that. The answer is that Q and T will form a covalent bond. By following that simple process, you can solve these questions super fast and with total confidence. It's not so bad when you know the steps.
Whew, we've covered a ton of ground, haven't we? So let's boil it all down to the absolute essentials you need to remember for that A+ in chemistry. Okay, if you're cramming, here are the 3 golden rules you absolutely need to burn into your brain. 1. Covalent equals sharing. Got it? 2. The magic formula, nonmetal plus nonmetal. And 3. Know your bond types, single, double, or triple. It all just depends on what the atoms need to do to feel stable. So, there you have it. You've got the knowledge, you've seen how to apply it. The only question left is, are you ready to put it into practice? Go on, head over to MCQSPM.com, test yourself on some real questions, and start turning this knowledge into exam points. Good luck!